Today, I'm gonna be giving you the new top 5 best class setups to be using right now after this Season 5 Reloaded update. Now, there are a few weapons that were buffed that completely caught me off guard, and I'm pretty sure you guys will be equally as surprised. Real quick, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and click the thumbs up button so you don't miss out on my future videos. With all that being said, let's get into the first class setup. This is one of the weapons that caught me by surprise that ended up getting a buff, the PULEMYOT. I'm pretty sure all they did was just make this thing a little bit quicker, which is great, so it can kind of keep up with some battle rifles and ARs at longer ranges. And with the big magazine and with the power behind this LMG, this is going to be something you're going to want to check out. So starting off, you have to run the conversion kit, the Jack Annihilator bullet kit. Massive increase in mobility, rate of fire, aim down sight. So this just kind of already gives you that increase in mobility, kind of furthering the buff it already got. So you can just be so much more mobile on the map and more aggressive in your gameplay. I like to throw on the Jack Glassless optic. This reduces the visual recoil when firing. You're going to want to be very accurate with something like this because of how strong it is. And on top of that, it does have a high fire rate. So the visual reduction in the recoil definitely comes in handy. I like to throw on the Jack Annihilator long barrel as well with the bullet velocity and range increase. This makes it a little bit stronger and kill a little bit more quickly at those longer range engagements. For my muzzle, I have the Quartermaster suppressor, so one, we're off the radar, and we also get a massive increase in recoil control and accuracy. Like I said, it has a high fire rate. It's going to be a little tougher to control. This definitely makes it an absolute laser beam. But then my final attachment here is the Bruin Heavy Support Grip, the best underbarrel in the game for accuracy and recoil control. So there are the attachments I have. Get your screenshots right here. And let's bring this to the firing range real quick. And you're going to see, man, like, not only because of the kit, but of the buff as well. The thing, you're moving pretty fast for an LMG. And then you could see the thing doesn't move whatsoever. It's just super, super accurate. It fires really fast. The TTK is incredibly quick as well. And again, I mean, this 100-round magazine allows for you to take out so many enemies without having to load. It's pretty broken. Next, we have the STG-44, which was completely left alone in the update, which caught me by surprise. I really thought they'd maybe nerf this since it is the current long-range meta in the game, but hey, it is what it is. I ain't complaining. So my first attachment's a 50-round drum, so I could take out multiple enemies without having to reload. Just like our PULEMYOT 762, I love running the Jack Glassless optic because it does reduce that visual recoil when firing. I have on the C70 long barrel for a massive increase in bullet velocity and range. This just makes the kill significantly more quicker at those longer range engagements. Just like our PULEMYOT, I have on the Quartermaster suppressor because we're off the radar and it makes it an absolute laser beam of a weapon. These are your base 4 attachments. After this, you could throw on quite literally whatever you want. If you want a 0 recoil build, you could do the DR79 combo stock. So that's this build here. You guys can get your screenshots. I'll bring it to the firing range. I personally don't really use this anymore. I mean, it's a laser beam. The thing literally doesn't move. So if you wanted to just not move whatsoever, this is the build you're going to want to do. If you don't care for that extra recoil control, you got a few options here. You could do the paracord grip's great. I love the DR6 on this, where you get all this great mobility, aim down sight, aim walking, sprint to fire movement. So it's a little bit faster. Obviously, it's not gonna be as accurate with that stock, but you guys could see the thing. It's significantly quicker, and the weapon's still super, super accurate. I love the DR6. Or you could do the high grain rounds here, which gives you another increase in bullet velocity and range, just making this hit even harder. And this is my new go-to attachment, is these high grain rounds. So you can notice that increase in bullet velocity, and the thing is still laser accurate. It's genuinely unreal. So get your guys' screenshots right here, because this is my new updated build. And that's pretty much it. Super, super straightforward for my STG-44 class. Another surprise buff in this update is the BAS-B, where they increase the damage on several body parts, which blows my mind. This is a battle rifle. This already hits super hard. It's already one of the fastest killing categories in the game, and you made it stronger. It's pretty damn broken. First attachment, I do the 45-round magazine so I can take out multiple enemies without having to reload. With how fast this thing drops enemies, this feels more like a 60 because you don't have to reload for a very long time. For the optic, you could probably guess I'm rocking the Jack Glassless. It really is just the best optic in the entire game. And with a weapon this strong, you need to be very, very precise. You want to be able to see your enemies very clearly, and the Jack Glassless does just that. For the barrel, you got 2 options. You could do the Bruin Venom long barrel or the Wyvern Respite long barrel. Most people would prefer the Bruin because you get that recoil control there, but you do maintain the exact same damage range of bullet velocity out of the Respite long barrel, You don't get the recoil control, but you do get a little bit of an increase in mobility. So the thing doesn't feel super slow, and you lose out on mobility on the Bruin Venom long barrel. So I prefer the Wyverns here. I know maybe kind of like an unpopular opinion, but it just works out so much better for me personally. I had the Quartermaster Suppressor again, off the radar, another increase in the recoil control. And then my underbarrel here is the paracord grip. What makes this just so good is you get all these great pros: horizontal recoil, sprint to fire, aiming idle sway, aim walking steadiness. And there's no cons. There's no downsides to putting this on, which is absolutely amazing. I know we're continuously repeating the same muzzle and optic, but when these are the two best attachments in their category, you kind of have no choice. So get your guys' screenshots, and let's bring this to the firing range real quick. You're gonna see this thing does hit like an absolute truck. It's genuinely unreal. So no recoil whatsoever. The TTK is pretty fast. You also have a little bit extra mobility, which is really, really nice as well for something this heavy. And it just marks all the things off. It has great mobility. It's a laser beam, and the TTK is incredible. So this is probably the best battle rifle in the game right now. Taking a step away from the long range weapons, we have the static HV, which is the SMG meta without a doubt. It is the greatest short range weapon in the entire game right now. Very surprised it wasn't nerfed, because it is just that dominant. So believe it or not, I love the Jack glasses on this as well. I'm not a fan of the iron sights. You need to throw something on, and I love the Jack glasses. For the stock, I had the Spire 34 light stock. We get movement speed, aimed on sight, sprint to fire, aim walking. So just a little bit extra mobility, which is great. The only reason I don't do no stock is because I know majority of people just don't like the recoil control that you lose out on, and it makes it a little bit harder to control. So just to cater towards everyone's play style and whatnot, I prefer to do this stock instead. It's also just so much easier to control. For my barrel, I have the Garrett 8 long barrel. We get an increase in bullet velocity and range, making this stronger kill a little bit more quickly at those longer ranges. You probably guessed it, Quartermaster Suppressor once again. And then my underbarrel, you have two options here, really. Actually, maybe three. You could do the paracord grip again, like we just used in our last build. The new Jack / underbarrel is also incredible here because of that massive increase in mobility, like movement speed and sprint to fire. This is also really nice, but I ultimately usually do the DR6 hand stop here for an increase in movement, sprint to fire, aim walking, aim down sight. It's great, but ooh, I kind of want to try the Jack / real quick in the firing range, because I know the mobility on this is probably absurd. Yeah, this is a very, very good attachment for the static, but yeah, this or the DR6, it's really up to you, whatever you think feels a little bit better. Yeah, the DR6 just feels incredible with that aim walking speed. So yeah, I usually prefer the DR6, and you get significantly just better range out of this weapon compared to any other SMG. Like, it had to be included in this top 5. Super dominant again. Very surprised this was not nerfed in the update. Real quick, I'll let you guys get your screenshots. I did go over that real quick. I promise you, you're gonna find so much success with this build. And then the fifth and final weapon I'd like to include in this top 5 is the SUPERI. This was nerfed several times in Warzone. I think it was even nerfed in the most recent update again, but this was completely left alone in multiplayer. So it's just as good as it ever has been before. So you still want to use this weapon. My new build does have on the Hound Guard heavy barrel for the increase in bullet velocity and range, just so we can keep up with the new static HV, and we can get just insane range out of this thing. So again, that massive bullet velocity and range is incredibly important for the SUPERI 46. I really like the Rescue 9 stock on this thing because that tactical sprint speed increase. This is a pro that we don't see on other weapons in the game, and it just makes it super special on the SUPERI 46. We also get better recoil control, sprint speed, movement speed, so you're faster and more accurate, which you could just never go wrong with. For the muzzle, you guessed it, man. The Quartermaster Suppressor. It just works well on quite literally everything. If you're tired of it, you don't want to use it on this, you could go back to the Zeman if you'd like, but it just, this being a suppressor, so you're off the radar and it makes your weapon more accurate, you can't go wrong with that. I do a bigger magazine so I can take out multiple enemies without having to reload. We have the 40 round mag, and then I like to do the high grain rounds, which is right here. So it just makes it hit even harder. And after all the nerfs, you could use this in Warzone. That's why my build is built like this, so those of you who play Warzone could use this and be chilling. So there's the screenshot if you need it. And then we can bring this to the firing range. You're gonna see it does hit significantly harder at a range. I usually don't rock a barrel on it, but it's just super accurate. You can get disgusting range out of it. The mobility is still absolutely cracked out as well. Still a top SMG in the game. It's just like not a lot of people use it because of it being nerfed in Warzone, but it is disgustingly god tier in multiplayer. Now, as far as goes for the rest of the loadout, no matter what 5 of the weapons you choose to use that I gave you here, the rest of it stays the same for me personally. I like the mission controls vest, which allows me to earn my kill streaks faster. This is my Renetti secondary build with the Jack Ferocity carbine kit. We got the Nidar model optic, the Bruin onslaught assault grip, the 50 round magazine, and then the Zeman muzzle. It's literally an SMG in your back pocket. It's super broken and very reliable for several kills if you need it for that. We have a stun grenade, sticky grenade, munition. I got scavenger so I can continue to use my primary, whatever it may be. We got running sneakers so I can get around the map a little bit more quickly, be more aggressive, get more kills. Mag holster so I can reload quicker. This applies to any weapon, which is really nice. And then the compression plate where I instantly regenerate health after every single kill. I know a lot of these weapons are the same as they were in previous top 5s, but hey, I gotta include them because they weren't nerfed or touched in the update. So I'd be kind of lying to you if I included weapons that aren't the STG or the static HV in a top 5 best weapons in the game. So they gotta be in here. But let me know what you guys would include. Let me know what you think about the PULEMYOT and Bass B buffs. I'm, again, really surprised those end up getting changed. But that's gonna wrap up today's video, man. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. You guys also stay safe. Have a great day, and I'm out. Peace.